Welcome to the podcast, representing Indiana State, the head coach, Marc Mitchell. Coach, always a pleasure to see you. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Likewise, Debbie. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, man. I mean, we got to know each other a little bit last year. Tell me how it's going. This is just your second year. You're building.
Yeah, second year is much better than year one. Got some kids in here that I really enjoy working with. Uh, Things are going well. We're coming up short, on some games. We're coming up a little short, but it's a pleasure coming in here and working with them daily.
That's what it is, right? It's part of the process. It's coaches talk about it all the time. I mean, as long as you're with the people that you know are working towards the same goal and are on the same page, it makes it much more enjoyable for everyone, doesn't it? I mean, the process is
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, coming in here, uh, my staff. I got two new assistant coaches on staff. Working with those two young ladies are tremendous, and of course, working with my associate head coach Jason Pruitt has been awesome as well. So it's all around. It's a pleasure to come to work daily, working with these good people, and we'll turn things around.
I know you will because you have done it in the past and you know what winning looks like. You've got a very well decorated resume, and that's part of the reason why you got the job. I want to go back to your early days in Elizabeth, New Jersey, where you grew up in Elizabeth High School. Where'd you fall in love with the game?
I was When I was a kid, I just fell in love with the game. I played a lot of street ball in the city of Newark and East Orange and Orange, New Jersey. So we just went around and played basketball. But my very first college basketball game I ever watched was 1982. I'm telling my age now. 1982, North Carolina and Georgetown championship.
No way. You were
That was
at
my
the
very first game I've ever watched.
game. Tell us about
Because
that game.
I was all NBA, NBA,
Yeah, yeah.
NBA, and then I watched that game, and then I was a Georgetown Hoya fan my entire teenage life until I became a head coach. Then I was a fan of whatever school I'm coaching at. Yeah, I watched that game. I saw the intensity. Patrick Ewing was a freshman.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan hits the shot, and I was like, this is fantastic. This is tremendous. And I just started watching college basketball ever since then.
You are a history major. So, as a history major, someone who obviously turned it to basketball, studying the history of the game and knowing like that one pivotal moment had an inflection on you that you remember for the rest of your life. How much did that change your thinking or your daily activity or your process to be able to know that, you know what, I want to play college basketball. I want to be a coach one day in college?
Yeah, for sure. I after after witnessing that game and the electricity that it had, it just sparked something in me. Never thought about it before. I was like, I just want to be around college basketball, and I never thought about coaching women either. But when I graduated college, um, I became a school teacher in Elizabeth, New Jersey, at a middle school, and I've always wanted to coach. So I was like, I want to coach. I want to coach. And then I got a phone call from the head coach at Elizabeth High School. Said he wanted me to coach the middle school team. So what happened was I thought it was the boys, and he was like, "No, I'm the girls' coach."
Ah,
and, I was like, and I was like, "Okay." Coach Firestone, God bless him. Coach Firestone called me up, so I took over the middle school eighth grade team. Uh,
wow.
and I did some things that Coach Firestone never saw. How I got into high school was in the city of Elizabeth. At that time we had 8 middle schools, and I took my team, well, a few of my players from my team, to one of his practices at the varsity level. And he's like, "Coach Mitchell, what are you doing here? Why are you here?" And I said, "Well, these young ladies are going to play for you, so I want to see what you're doing. They need to see what you're doing,
Yeah.
so I can groom them to play for you." And he was so impressed. He said, "I've been in this district for over 30 years, and no middle school coach has ever done that." Um,
Hmm.
so when he retired, he suggested to the board and the powers that be that I become the next varsity coach there, and that's how it all started there.
When you found out that you were coaching the girls, and I'm going to tell you, I hate middle school. My kids went through middle school. I hated it. There's not one kid that I enjoyed of my three going through middle school that I thought was good. It's just a tough time for kids. And now you're going to be coaching middle school girls in Elizabeth Middle School. I want to know what were you thinking? How old were you? Like what was going on?
I was in my early 20s. I just I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, girls. So then I turned my attention from men's college basketball. I was Georgetown Hoya fan. And then I started watching women's college basketball. And, UConn, Tennessee, they at that time they were just, Pat Summitt, Gino, and I
Yeah.
just admired, them and then I was like, how is it, a male coaching girls. You know what I mean? And I started looking at Gino and started listening to him. And since then, I've been a REM a fan
Sure.
ever since then.
Does Gino know that? Because sometimes I don't realize or don't think that the coaches know the impact and influence they have when they don't think anybody's watching. And having said that, how does that happen for you? There's a lot of people watching you, like they're looking up to you and listening to your story, want to follow a similar path, but you may not even know who they are.
Yeah, I don't believe Coach knows that story. I did meet him, and we had a brief conversation back in 2014 when I won a national championship at the Division III level. That year, all three levels were undefeated. His UConn team, Bentley team from New York,
Yeah.
Division II, and then FDU Florham, we were undefeated. So all three divisions were undefeated, and I did have a chance to meet him at an award ceremony in 2014. I got National Coach of the Year, so I met him there, and we spoke briefly. And I did tell him that I'm a big fan of his.
I think there's a lot of people that are a big fan of Geno's
Yeah,
and Pat's, and it's amazing to think about the influence and the trickle down effect that their success has had for others. Because you watch the way they do things, how they do things, the kind of people that they have produced and put out into the world, and that's part of the legacy. When you, I'm always interested in why basketball coaches are history majors. There's so many basketball coaches that studied history in college. What was it about that or is there anything there that is coinciding?
I really don't know the answer to that. I just know that I wanted to be a history teacher. Uh, I worked in the inner city. There was a lot of young Black and Hispanic kids, kind of misguided. I was a young African American who was a little misguided when I was young, and I just wanted to give some guidance to that. So I just wanted to go. I wanted to be a history teacher, but then I see this game in '82, and I'm like, hey, coaching is what I
Yeah.
think I was born to do, is to work with young people. So this is a perfect marriage for me, working with young people and
Mhm.
coaching basketball. But the historic part of it is I just love learning about what came before me. How can I improve myself and leaving something better for the people that's coming after me?
Can't say it any better than that. Okay, so how does that work day to day with your team? Where you are right now in the building process, what your vision is, where you're going, because every day is another step forward towards what you want to have happen for your program.
Yeah, we recruited a lot of we have six seniors on the roster this year, so they'll be gone after this year. All six of them will be gone. Um, but building a relationship with them throughout the summer, uh, throughout the school year, we're trying to just instill in them the culture that we want to have. So when they leave, and they can speak to the younger people and say, "Hey, this is how Coach Mitchell operates. This is the culture of Coach Mitchell. As one is his motto. Is what we do. Is who we are. Is how it's our lifestyle. Um, so we want to have that, left for the incoming people starting next season as well.
I'm sure listening to you talk about the Georgetown, North Carolina championship game, I'm sure John Thompson had some influence over maybe the
Huge.
way the player think. Tell us because he's not somebody that comes up very often on our podcast. I'd love to know what you think.
Yeah, Big John. when I was young, I don't want to say I didn't idolize him, but I truly looked up to him. Um, he's a big African American working at Georgetown. His teams were tough, uh, gritty, defensively. I mean, from Patrick Ewing to Alonzo Mourning to Dikembe Mutombo. Uh, I mean, all these players, and he was just such a figure with the towel over his shoulder, and he was just such a strong figure. And then outside of basketball, what he was doing for the community in DC, um, I mean, it's just nothing but admiration for him.
I have a lot of admiration for him too because he was against the tide in a lot of ways, but
Yeah.
he had he's so well respected by everyone in the game, and when we just don't get to talk about him enough, his name doesn't come up very often.
Well,
He
he's
was
always in my thoughts, and anytime I'm on the sideline, and I recall one game, I believe it was against Syracuse, where he pulls his team off the floor, like it was some racial slurs or something was being said, and it's just, I mean, to have that type of heart to do something like that,
yeah.
it's just again nothing but admiration for him.
I always thought he had everything in perspective. You may not have always agreed about what he might have said or how he went about conducting his business, but he cared about the kids and he knew the kids represented something bigger than just the game of basketball. And that's what we're supposed to be doing, right? We're supposed to be using it as a vehicle to help these young men and women be able to get opportunities after their playing days are over. And a lot of players get to extend their playing days. They don't realize or maybe think that, like you have six seniors, this could be it. None of them may play. They might, but they might not. But sometimes you don't even know until 10, 15, 20 years down the road when they come back and they say, man, Coach Mitchell, I never understood why you did things this way, but now I do. And I always think that about John Thompson. He
Yeah.
had a bigger vision about basketball and its purpose in the world.
Yeah, I have a lot of those relationships now with former players from back from my FDU days and St. Peter's days. A lot of those young ladies, I still in contact with them. I'm still in contact with their mothers. I'm still in contact with their fathers. I had a young lady, Kendrea Williams. I've known her since she was 9 years old, and I'm still in contact with her and her family, the Williams family. So I mean, these relationships that I try to build are supposed to be long lasting. I've been to weddings. I see my former players, their mothers and wives now,
That's
and
it.
it's awesome when I get a Happy Father's Day text from them, or a Merry Christmas text from them. One of my former players' mothers, they text me
Cool.
and Happy Thanksgiving, and so it's a real thing for me to be a part of their lives, and I'm just fortunate.
And you bring up Father's Day and being a father. You've got four of your own children.
Yes.
Do they play? Do they love the game? Are they there? Are they at practice? What's going on?
No, no. Well, no, none of them play. I have two daughters and I have twin boys that are 16 now, and they're autistic. Um, but
Hmm.
my second daughter, Jade, when she was young, we tried to play her a little bit, but I was a little I was a little rough on her,
Yeah.
and that kind of pushed her away from basketball. I'm like, baby, you gotta have tough skin to play this game, and so she's more of an artsy type person, which is fine. I love her. I love her to death. And my older daughter, no, she's more flamboyant and outgoing, and basketball, athletics was not her thing.
You know, listeners and viewers of Nothing But Net know this about me and my family. And I don't know if you and I have shared this conversation before, but my middle son has Down syndrome, Frankie, and he's a graduate of the Clemson Life program. And we've helped NC State create a program called Elevate, which mirrors what Clemson Life is, which is a post secondary educational experience for students with intellectual disability. Have you seen the Netflix show Love on the Spectrum?
I have not. I have not. Love on the spectrum.
I highly recommend you and your wife watch
Mhm.
Love on the Spectrum. It is a show about young adults living with autism.
Mhm.
trying to find love. It's kind of like I would equate it to like a reality TV show where they have certain characters in the show that are real people that are actually on the autism spectrum at different levels on the spectrum, trying to figure out if they can find a lifelong partnership. And my son's roommate was Tanner for 4 years, and Tanner's one of the primary characters on the show. So, with your boys at 16, um, and both living with autism, I think that's
For
incredible. I need
sure.
to get you on.
Lot
I need to have you come on our live stream for 24 hours, nothing but net, which is my fundraiser for Special Olympics. Do
Okay,
you?
for sure.
Yeah. Do your
Live on
boys
the spectrum, though. Yes.
love on the spectrum? You
Is
got
it
to check it out.
love?
Yeah.
Love on the spectrum. Okay.
We're giving them a big pop on the podcast here because it's a great show. I suggest it to everyone. You don't have to have somebody with intellectual disability to enjoy the show. It is really
Mhm.
amazing. You're going to feel every single emotion when you watch it. It's going to be really
Thank you.
cool. So I
Thank
didn't know
you.
we had that in common. We share something in common
We
there. That's
do.
great. Well, we're for sure going to get you on interested in 24 hours nothing but net and
Yes.
find a way for you guys to get involved. That'd be cool.
Perfect.
That's what I love about this podcast is we don't always talk X's and O's. Who knows where we might go,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's fun. And I've learned something a lot. I've learned something really important about you and your family that is going to help us make the world better because you and I are
Yes.
trying to both make the world better.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Well, Marc Mitchell, the head coach at Indiana State, we're so pleased that you could join us today on Nothing But Net. What a pleasure. What an honor to serve with you in our great game. And I thank you for spending the time with us.
Well, thank you, and it's an honor to be here. It's an honor. It's an honor to be on your show. It's an honor to be a coach. It's an honor to work with young people at this institution. I'm just very, very blessed and fortunate to be in this position.
We're pulling for you. Marc Mitchell, the head coach at Indiana State. Nothing But
Thank
Net rolls on.
Thank you.